All right, here we are. The first, Roger, you're the first Facebook Live I've ever done. How's
Really?
that? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exciting.
So, having a beer with Fred is about having a beer with Fred. You like ice pick vodka, so
Ice pick
that
with
that
Fred.
works too.
Yeah.
And we're in St. Pete, Treasure Island. St. Pete, I like to say St. Pete Beach, Treasure Island, because anytime when I say I'm in Treasure Island, people think we're in Vegas. So we're here, and it's not quite the backdrop. We're in at right in Gulf Boulevard. A lot of people that grew up in St. Pete know this as Captain Cosmos location, but how long? You were worried about what I was going to ask you. But I'm not gonna get too detailed here. Roger, just tell me where were you brought up?
Boston, born and raised.
Yeah, and what was your background of your parents? What is our connection?
Well,
Ethnically.
Lebanese,
Yeah,
Lebanon, but my mom and dad were both born in Boston.
yeah.
Myself and my brothers, two brothers were born in Boston, so
And
we're
you
what you call Bostonians.
and you have even a square named after you. One of your uncles was
Louis T. Zeghibe Square. Yeah.
so. Say and spell your full name, so everybody.
So it's Roger, Roger Zeghibe. Zeghibe.
Yeah. So we'll fast forward. You grew up in Jamaica Plain, as you always say, right? It was a tough neighborhood. You grew up in a
Yeah, tough enough, but
tough.
nice
It
neighborhood.
was a nice neighborhood, and you ended up now today. You own the Beantown Pub, one of I would say the world's greatest pubs.
Thank you. I'm gonna
I've
agree with
always,
you on that.
I've had a lot of fun there, and also you own the Port Town in Portland, Maine,
Yep.
which young Frank Curran and Jill Moses helped you find as brokers, and
Yep. Yep.
you
I
helped
broke it.
Jake retire from the bar business, Jake's Tavern, and
Buddy Jake Perillo. Yep.
so today also in Boston you have the Hub Pub,
Up, up. We're
And-
gonna be turning 30 years old there next year.
and you have partners, a few partners.
Yeah.
Your brothers.
My brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got a quiet one, Mike, who's a great guy but doesn't man a few words.
He's the numbers guy.
Yeah, and then Willie, who's a great guy and always on it. And so, how did you get into the business?
In the mid 80s, when I was a teenager, or early 20s, I started bartending at a place called Friar Tuck's
In Boston.
in Boston, which is now it's Up Up.
Now it's the Hub Pub.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I figured the business out then, and I had my mentor was Joe Colucci, greatest guy ever, and he taught me the
Cheers to
business.
Joe.
Cheers
He
to
did
Joe.
Here you go. He was a legend in Boston in the bar business and a variety of others
He was the man. He was the captain. Mm-hmm. Yep.
back in
a
the
good
day.
friend and mentor, and
Well, that a lot of times in my shows on entrepreneurship, we talk about mentoring younger people, and I've been fortunate enough to mentor a few people. People you've met, Dogware and Care, with Adam and Caitlin, and also young Frankie Curran up in Portland, and Brian Castle who's doing Sea Dog Exeter. But he mentored you. He gave you an opportunity to be a partner,
he did.
and
Brought me in. I bartended.
what year was that?
managed.
What year was that?
Mid 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. 84, 85.
And he basically saw something in you and said this kid could take over and I could step back and he could run the place. And
Yeah.
he ultimately
Well,
sold it to you.
I had a relationship with Joe as a friend prior to going to Friar Tuck's.
Yeah. Yeah. So we became friends a bit ago through a became a friend, but a gentleman who worked for me named Mark Walgren, who, God rest his soul, had a tragic accident 4 or 5 years ago, and
Great guy.
He passed
Loved by
away.
Everybody.
yeah, and renowned. He had a direct connection to the Budweiser. Worked for Bud, started on the back of a truck, and ended up running their distributions throughout the country, and had retired, and then came out of retirement and worked for us at Shipyard. Did a great job. And one time he said, "Hey, I met this great guy in Boston wants to buy a condo in Portland." And Jill Moses Harborview Properties. She basically said, "Hey, I want to show Roger around." So, who's Roger? He owns the Beantown Pub. We went to lunch at Gilbert's, as I remember, and we got to know each other. And I found out your background, and my parents were Christian Lebanese, and your parents were Christian Lebanese, and
Yeah.
you know, from the mountains and the same culture and the same foods. And funny, Judy, my wife, was trying to learn how to cook Lebanese food and really hit the recipes. And my aunt Louise, who was the only person alive at that time when she was learning, would say to her, "Hey, dear, you can come down and cook with me," but she said, "No, just what spices?" She wouldn't give it up.
Yeah.
So that's when your brother Willie showed up with all the spices, and I got to meet his wife, and
He's
I got
the
him to
chef in the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now Judy, as an Irish girl, makes some of the best Lebanese food.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Not almost as good as my mom's. I would say at times it's
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. I would say as good, but I don't want to have the lightning bolt come down and strike me.
Yeah.
But you know, we've become friends through business, and you're an entrepreneur. You've taken a lot of risks in your life. Not as, you know, maybe not a few, but you look at a lot of different businesses.
Yeah.
And what's been? I know you started a pub down here.
Originally Beantown Pub South
Yeah.
in downtown St. Pete. Then we moved it with you to Sea Dog for a little bit. And
Yeah. They don't like New Englanders that come to
No.
find out in downtown St. Pete.
We
at
went
least,
too
at
much.
least flashing the brand.
Yeah.
Down at the beach, it's a little different. But
Yeah.
so, and you sold it, and it became
Mary Margaret's.
yeah, and-
Old Irish Tavern. Well, I was still involved up until like a year ago.
yeah.
And the guys who were managing it along with me, I sold it to them. Great guys.
Yeah.
Pete Boland, Ian, Aaron.
Yeah, Mary Margaret's
They're doing
has
a great
become a
job
great
there.
Irish pub.
Yeah.
in downtown. They're doing a great job with that, and it's the fun thing about St. Pete, Treasure Island, this area. People really, there are a lot of sole proprietors, young entrepreneurs that are getting into business, and guys that have been in business. I've been fortunate enough to meet many of them. Ferg's has become a good friend. His bar got devastated by the fact we lost the Trop. We were talking about that, you know, in a few of our other videos, and now he's trying to reinvent himself a little bit in the meantime, doing some different events and things. So we're going to try to help with that in the future. But what's the biggest and best promotion you've ever done at the Beantown Pub? I know you've done other things, but you've had some promotions over the years. We talk about that a lot.
I know, yeah, we've done so many, and we still do so many. One of the best, well, our 25th anniversary, 2 years ago, that was
Yeah.
like a city event. Pretty much anyone who was,
You had the cowboy hats. What was up with that?
we did a country western night. And
That
was
wasn't
fun.
tying into the 25th. That was separate.
No, separate, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always doing something. My brother Willie and Sharon Walsh, who was my operation manager, they do a great job.
You're on the phone every day, 30, 40 times with them.
Yeah.
When I'm riding around with you. Yeah, Sharon's an
But
English.
yet I can be in Florida or Portland.
Yeah, you're not
I
tied.
know that I'm safe in Boston because of them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's the thing. And you found a great spot in Boston on Portland. I mean, in Portland, on Portland Pier. So you got a place to live up there, and you got
Yeah.
a nice spot down here with the Camden Pier, where I get my saunas every morning over there. I still get in because you're in the place, so I can say I'm coming to see you.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, which is fun. And then you know, today is the April 16th, right?
Yes,
2025. Did you pay your taxes yesterday?
No,
I didn't. I had to pay. You already paid them, or you didn't pay them at
no,
all?
ask your
You
wife, Judy. Took an extension.
But you still have to pay it. You must have already paid estimates.
Yes, oh yeah.
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 Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. By being in Florida and April 15th isn't as depressing. It's a little sunny. It's fun. Up north, it was raining. It was depressing, and everybody
absolutely.
begrudgingly did their thing. But so I love having fun with you. I love doing business with you. That's the fun thing about the beer business, is to have relationships with accounts
Yeah.
like yours. We've been serving ice pick at the Beantown, and Blue Paw, and a variety of other beers. We're going to keep having fun. So I just
Yeah,
want to,
I love the relationship. We've become great friends.
yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't got arrested together yet, but we've done
Not yet.
quite a few other things. All right,
Could
brother.
be
Love you,
interesting.
man. Cheers.
Cheers. Love you too.
God bless.
Now that was live on Facebook.
I guess.